don't know about you guys, but I find it extremely satisfying when someone throws a spinning kick and catches someone right on the knee. Something about that just hits different. But low kicks are more than just satisfying to watch. It can be extremely damaging if done correctly. Here are 3 reasons why low kicks are so devastating. Number 1, a strike to the calf or thigh is an investment in pain. You're investing in pain that will add up over time. Now, I've had this question asked before, so let me answer it for you. Yes, I have been kicked in the leg before. And when I tell you that there is nothing like being kicked directly into your shin, I mean it. There is nothing like it. The feeling of getting hit with a front kick straight into the shin is one of the most painful things that I've ever experienced. And I say that having been hit with elbow strikes, having been hit with knees, having been hit with fists, having been stomped on, all sorts of stuff. Nothing compares to a well-placed front kick. Right now, if somebody kicks you in the shin, you're probably going to experience some level of pain. Maybe it's dull, maybe it's sharp. Maybe you can even laugh it off depending on the severity of the kick. But what happens when that kick is repeated over and over again throughout the course of a fight? What happens when you get kicked 10 times, 20 times, 30 times in the same area? Well, let me tell you that dull ache is going to turn into a sharp pain pretty damn quickly. And if it keeps happening, that sharp pain is going to turn into a searing, debilitating pain that makes it hard to move, makes it hard to function. And that's only when we're talking about the calves. It gets even worse when we start talking about the thighs, because the thighs are bigger, they're thicker, they have more muscle mass, and it's just a bigger target. So when you hit the thigh, it's a bigger impact. It hurts more, and it accumulates more over time. Now, I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with the saying, it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. Well, that's kind of the case here. A bigger target that is struck with a smaller surface area is going to cause more damage. It's going to hurt more, and it's going to accumulate more damage over time. And trust me, when you're dealing with the amount of damage that low kicks can produce, accumulation is definitely something that you have to factor in. Because if you get hit 10 times in the legs, that's going to accumulate, and by the 20th time you get hit, it's going to feel significantly worse. By the 30th time you get hit, it's going to feel even worse. And that's assuming that each strike doesn't cause any additional damage. But if each strike does cause additional damage, then it's going to feel far worse. That's why being kicked in the leg feels worse the more that you get kicked. And that's why low kicks can be so devastating. Now, this leads us into the second reason why low kicks are so devastating. When you're kicking someone in the leg, especially in the calf or the thigh, you're not only causing direct damage to that area, you're also taking away their ability to move that leg. So the longer the fight goes on, the more severe the low kicks become. Not only do you have to deal with the pain, but then you also have to deal with the fact that you can't move your leg very well anymore. This has a cascading effect. Not only are you in pain, not only can you not move your leg very well, but it also makes it difficult to balance. And when you're dealing with an opponent who's throwing a lot of strikes, when you're off balance, it becomes much easier for them to hit you. So low kicks take away your mobility and your ability to defend yourself. And this is why low kicks can be so devastating. But it gets worse. As the fight progresses, not only do you have to deal with the fact that you're getting hit more often, but you also have to deal with the fact that those hits are becoming more powerful because your opponent is stronger now. They were already strong from the beginning, but as you're getting tired, as you're getting fatigued, you're less able to block, you're less able to check, and they're less able to control their own leg. So not only are you getting hit harder, but you're also getting hit more frequently. So not only is the pain increasing, but the amount of damage that you're taking is also increasing. All of these factors combined make low kicks a devastating weapon. And it gets even worse, especially in Muay Thai and kickboxing, where you're allowed to go to the body. But even in judo and karate and taekwondo and boxing, wherever you're allowed to throw low kicks, you can really start to see the effects of fatigue. When someone starts to get fatigued, their legs start to wobble. They start to lose their balance. It becomes difficult for them to stay on their feet. And when you start to see these signs, that's when you start to really take advantage of the low kicks. That's when you start to really send it. It's when you really start to put those devastating kicks that just absolutely wreck someone's legs. And by the later rounds, it's not uncommon to see someone with severely damaged legs. It's not uncommon to see someone who can barely stand up at all. They're just hanging on by a thread. They're trying to stay in the fight, but their legs are just absolutely shot. That's the power of low kicks. When someone sends a low kick to your leg, it's like an investment that pays off dividends in pain. When that person continues to invest in that calf or that thigh, the dividends just keep paying out. And by the end of the fight, you're left with nothing but pain. Your leg is completely shot. You can barely walk, barely stand, barely function. And that's why low kicks are so devastating. But that's not the last reason. There's one more reason why low kicks are so devastating, and that is because they're such a subtle weapon. Most people don't realize how powerful they can be until it's too late. When people think of powerful strikes, they usually think of things like head kicks, knee strikes, elbow strikes, maybe even punches. Low kicks are usually not on that list. People tend to underestimate the power of low kicks. They don't understand the investment that you're making with every single kick. They don't understand the way that the damage accumulates over time. By the time they realize it, it's already too late. Have you ever seen someone in the later rounds of a fight where their legs are just completely shot? Have you ever seen someone who's just barely hanging on, barely able to stand up? Their legs are wobbling, they're buckling, they're barely able to stay in the fight. If you have, you've seen the effects of low kicks. You've seen the power of low kicks firsthand. And when you witness that firsthand, you start to realize that low kicks are one of the most devastating weapons of all. So next time you see a low kick, pay attention to it. Pay attention to the effects that it has on the fighter. Because if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss out on one of the most exciting things to watch. The subtle but incredibly effective weapon that is the low kick.